Every December, the Philippines dedicates a whole month to Filipinos working abroad, Bagong Bayani, modern-day heroes. And the reason isn't just what you expect. I found this while researching something else, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Bagong Bayani translates to new hero. In 1988, President Corazon Aquino coined the term and signed the proclamation that made December the official month of recognition. Every government since has kept using it in speeches, national campaigns, even its own biennial awards ceremony at the presidential palace. Filipinos abroad get called this across every kind of work: healthcare, engineering, seafaring, domestic work, whatever they've ended up for years at a time. A hero in most countries is someone who stays and sacrifices. Here, the hero is the one who leaves. That's the part that didn't make sense to me at first. Then I found the number. Overseas Filipino workers sent $38.3 billion home in 2024, a record confirmed by the country's central bank. That's 8.3% of the entire Philippine economy, moving through banks, remittance counters, and digital transfers sent by people who don't live there anymore. So the heroes aren't only being celebrated for leaving, they're being celebrated for what their work makes possible back home. The money that keeps arriving month after month, whether anyone notices or not. That's when I realized this probably wasn't just a Philippine story. It isn't. Globally, the money migrants sent home reached roughly $905 billion in 2024, according to the World Bank. To developing countries specifically, these transfers came to about $685 billion in 2024, more than every dollar of foreign investment and foreign aid combined. By the numbers, migration is one of the largest financial flows on the planet, and it runs in the opposite direction from how most of us picture the global economy. The most extreme case is Tonga, where money sent from abroad made up more than 40% of the entire economy in 2023, according to the World Bank. Take that money away, and Tonga's economy wouldn't just dip, it would face a shock most economies never have to absorb, which made me wonder how much of this was actually built on purpose. And one answer starts of all places with an oil crisis. In the early 1970s, the Middle East was suddenly flush with oil money and needed workers to build new cities almost overnight. At the same time, the Philippines faced the opposite problem: high unemployment and not enough jobs to go around. On May 1st, 1974, Ferdinand Marcos signed a law that connected the two. It turned immigration into official government policy, not just permitting it, but organizing it, recruiting workers, training them, negotiating directly with foreign employers, tracking them once they left. That didn't just move workers. Over the decades, it shaped which careers were worth choosing in the first place. For many Filipino students, nursing became more than a career choice. It became one of the clearest paths into a system built decades before they were born. In 2022, that law finally became a full government department, the Department of Migrant Workers, with one job: managing an estimated 10 million Filipinos currently working in over 200 countries. Critics call this labor export, treating citizens as a product to be shipped out. The government calls it a national strategy, and by its own account, one of the country's most successful ones. But a machine like this only works if there is a buyer, and that's where the story stopped being about the Philippines. I went looking for the buyer, but the number that stopped me wasn't in the Philippines at all. It was in South Korea. Fertility rate of 0.75 in 2024, the lowest in the world according to the country's own statistics agency. Replacement level, the point where a population holds steady, is 2.1. Japan is below it, so is Italy, so is Germany. Fewer young workers, more retirees. The math eventually stops working. Not a policy failure, just 30 years of pressure building, longer than any government currently in power has been around. Governments have other options: raise the retirement age, push automation, but importing workers is the fastest one, which is why so many countries have leaned on it for decades without saying so in a campaign speech. One set of countries built the machine to send workers out because the money coming back is what's keeping the economy standing. Another set of countries has come to rely on workers coming in because their own arithmetic stopped adding up decades ago. Both call it something else: a program, a partnership, a policy. Functionally, it's the same machine, running in both directions at once. And the person actually crossing the border, treating someone else's patients, building someone else's cities, peace, sending money home every month. Isn't the story either side tells about them? Not a hero, not a burden, just the peace holding two economies together. That almost never gets mentioned in the argument above it. This December, like every December, the Philippines will spend a month honoring its Bagong Bayani. Somewhere else, a pension payment will clear because of it. Neither one will ever mention the other. The argument is about borders. Underneath it is a system of infrastructure.